Okay, so I was playing Salmon Run today, and I decided let's just make a tier list of all the events. I haven't seen anyone do it before. I'd make this own tier list, so. So we have Mothership, Chinook Run, Rush, Low Tide, High Tide, Griller, and Gushers. Well, its official name is called Goldie Seek, but everyone just calls it Gusher from what I know. And then we have Fog. So we have no, please, no, A, B, C. That can be whatever you want it to be, and we have easy. First off, no, please, no. This is it's just no, please. Whenever this comes on, you just fear for what's gonna happen. You hate it. For me personally, that's fog. Fog is just god awful. It's bad. You can't see anything. It can be mixed with every other single event. So you could have fog gushers, fog grillers, fog high tide, fog low tide, fog rush, fog Shahook rush, fog mothership. It's just no. No, it's awful. I never have a good time with fog. It's just no. It's I hate it. Next we have mothership, and mothership for me is just I should specify this sooner. Low tide and high tide can also be mixed with all of these, and I'm going to tell you that at the end because that kind of affects what tier they're going to be in. But this is just from normal tide, so none of these are affected by tide. Mothership is just easy. It's really easy. Stingray it when it's coming to the bag basket, and you're done. You're golden. And after a certain point, the flying drone things that when they come in to drop the baskets, I forget what they're called. But you can actually after a certain amount of time you can actually see where they start to group up, and you can just spawn camp them there. It's really easy. So yeah, mothership is just plain simple easy. It's practically just free eggs. It's free eggs. That's all it is. Shahook charge is really depends if there's fogs or not. I'm gonna give it a B. But the hardest thing with this is you need one person on the cannon. One person on the really good cannon. If you're on the cannon, I recommend doing stingers. Everyone else should just collect eggs. Your job is to cover your teammates. The teammates will take care of the bosses. You just deal with the massive amount of hooks. I'm probably saying their name wrong, but whatever. That's your job. Just clear the way for your teammates. And only one person needs to be on the cannon. Now, every now and then you might need support from another guy, but rule of thumb is one person should be on the cannon. Because if you have two people on the cannon and two people collecting eggs, you will barely make the quota in time. Trust me, I've had that happen. Next is Rush, and this really depends what weapon you have. Like, it really depends on what weapons you have. If you have good weapons, Rush is good weapons and good teammates, Rush is a C. But if you have something like, oh, I don't know, E-leader and bad weapons, it's easily an A. It's also very map dependent. So, I don't know. If you have a roller, the roller can just hold down the roll button and actually roll. You know, Dynamo is really easy. Dynamo one-shots the goldies and everything else. Splat roller too. The only bad roller is maybe Carbon. Even then, I think Carbon one-shots the little dudes. So, I'm going to give it a B tier because it's really map dependent and teammate dependent. If you're not all grouped up, this is a nightmare for you. And you really, especially if you're the roller player, just crushing them all. Watch that ink tank. I'm telling you right now, watch that ink tank, and your other teammates will have to cover you till your ink tank refills. Griller. This is also really weapon dependent. Like if you have a roller besides Dynamo and any Brellas, it's really easy to deal with the small fry that come out of the grillers. Because the grillers, they constantly spawn small fry. And the Brella, even if it's undercover or 10 Brella, as soon as the small fry hit the shield of the Brella, they instantly die. So you can just walk into them and you're fine. It's also kind of like Rush, as it's very teammate specific. You want your teammates to deal with the grillers. But I'm going to give it a C tier because you can easily bait the grillers into following you. Like, if they're all following you, that's actually good. All you need to do is just, like, run by your teammates or something. It's really the small fry that give this, like, a high tier. I don't know. I've never really had a problem with griller. But that's probably just me. But if you have, like, really powerful weapons like E-Leader, one shot with E-Leader at full griller will stun it. So that's pretty good. Next is Gusher. Gusher is... Hmm. Gusher... Okay, remember, these are all normal tides. So these are... I haven't taken the tides into effect yet. Normal Gusher is... It's easy. It's either easy or C. Because if you're smart and know how to actually find the Goldie, all you have to do is look for the highest Gusher. The taller the Gusher, the closer you are to the Goldie. And that's really about it. I mean, you don't want to go around and pop every single Gusher, because even then that'll give you a problem, because there's just so many salmonids just coming out of them. But yeah, I gotta give it C. It's not the easiest it's not the easiest event because it can be troublesome at sometimes, especially if your teammates keep popping Gusher after Gusher after Gusher, and then you just have like this unstoppable crowd of salmonids that you can't get through. But still, it's not the hardest. And pro tip: whenever you pop, or whenever someone pops the Gusher that has the Goldie in it, immediately say this way, because 9 times out of 10, no one's gonna know where it is and still pop Gushers. But once you say it this way, the Goldie's already up. Everyone already knows where it is. So yeah. Also, every now and then you'll get this mixed with fog, and that's just no. Please no. Low tide. Easy. Low tide is easy because you have so much room to fall back with. You just have so much room to fall back. It's really not that hard. The hardest part's probably going to be filling the quota, but even then you have so much room to fall back and kill bosses to go back in, so that's fine. High tide is A. This is very map dependent, because depending on what map you're on, it's either hard or it's either no, please, no. Arc Polaris is no, please, no. At a certain point in high tide, it's not about filling the quota. It's just about surviving. That's it. It's just survive. But if you're with a good team on high tide, you could easily get like, oh, I've gotten like what, 40 eggs a match on high tide, especially Arc Polaris. Oh, I get Vietnam flashbacks for that Arc Polaris high tide. That's just awful. It's again, it's very map dependent. And if you're on the I can't remember what map it is at this point. If you're on the map with the rotors in a sector, I'll put an image up. Stay by the basket, please. Just stay on the side with the basket, because that just makes things so much easier. And at that point, it's just not about... It's about killing bosses. That's it. Kill bosses to survive. That's all that high tide is. Don't forget the eggs. Well, I guess you say that. Forget the eggs. But just kill the bosses that you need to kill. Stinger, flyfish, steelhead, steel eels. Very annoying on high tide because it could easily wrap around you like a snake. But yeah, that's basically it. Now for tide specific stuff. Okay, there we go. Now this is for tide specific. Like, let's say low tide mothership. Again, that's free eggs right there. That's nothing. Low tide rush? No, please, no. No. Just God, no. Just you have no room to fall back. But even then, if you're falling back with Rusher, it's already over. Please pop specials with Rusher. I'm saying, like, if you have Splashdown or Inkjet, that could save you. Stinger is bad in Rusher. It's bad. Gusher and High Tide is easy. It's so easy. Gusher High Tide is easy. It's insanely easy. The amount of time every now and then you'll pop one Gusher, it's immediately the Goldie, because it's just so little Gushers. What else? Oh, Gorilla High Tide is A, because that's there's no room to move. If you don't deal with the small fry, that's it. You're done. But the grillers themselves actually don't pose a big threat, because if you're like a brush, you can easily just outrun them, easy. As long as you don't run out of ink. You really gotta watch that ink tank. Again, no matter what tide, really, fog is a no, please, no. Just no. I hate it. I hate fog. Can't see anything. The flyfish are an absolute pain to deal with in a fog, because you can't see the baskets right. So yeah, fog in general, no, please, no. What else was it? Gusher and B. So this is not tide specific. This is just normal tide. That's B, that's easy. That's C. That's C. Low tide, easy. So yeah, this is the final ranking. Again, fog, no please, no. Just no matter what map you're on, no matter what event, fog is just the worst. Even if fog by itself is just awful. No, you can't see anything. Stingers are an absolute pain to deal with. So are steelheads because you need to actually see the top of them. High tide in general, again, very map dependent. Really, very map dependent. If you're on the shipyard map, what is it? The shipyard map. I forget. I pull an image. That's if you have stingray, and you see stuff going down, like you need to pop stingray. Please pop stingray. It'll just clear so much stuff out. Shahook run is B again. You really only want one person on the cannon. Rush is very team and map dependent. I might give that an A. You know, I'll give that an A. Yeah, I'll give that an A because you need to be with your teammates. If you're not, especially specific maps. Like I should probably do another video on map tips and stuff. If you're not grouped up with your teammates, this is instant death right here. You have to stick together. If you don't stick together, they're just gonna swarm you. Again, you could say the same thing with grillers, but no. You know, the only thing that'll really swarm you is the small fry. Really, the small fry is the biggest trouble I have dealing with. Again, gushers is C. Low tide is easy because you have so much to fall back with. And mothership in general is just easy. Mothership is just free eggs. Tell you right there, it's just free eggs. So yeah, that is the tier list. Hope you enjoyed this video. Either way, I could do map specific tips. I don't know. According to Callie, I've played over like 2,000 runs in Salmon Run. I don't know how she knows that. I don't know where she found that out, but I've done over 2,000 jobs for Grisco, so I think I know something about my Salmon Run. But whatever. I forgot to talk about low tide. My bad. So it's been like at least a few hours since that last recording, but whatever. For you, it's gonna be no time passed at all. So low tide. Low tide with mothership would be easy. It would be higher if the mothership didn't move compared to the tide. Like for low tide on maps, the mothership moves to the low tide location. If it didn't move, it would be an easy like B tier. But the fact that it does move to low tide makes that so much easier. Low tide gushers is B because just the sheer amount of gushers that are around is just it makes finding the Goldie a lot harder. And what else? I'm gonna move grillers to A. So what is it? It's fog, high tide, A as well. Rush, low tide, easy, that easy, C, B. So yeah, I'm moving griller to A because I had to think, and I realized that the amount of weapons that you get that are good for dealing with small fry is very rare. Like 9 out of 10, you'll get like mostly shooters, and those aren't good for dealing with small fry. You want like AOE weapons, excluding like maybe the Clash Blaster's alright, but even then, yeah, just dealing with the small fry makes it so much harder to deal with the small fry. It makes the grillers so much harder. The grillers themselves are relatively easy, but just everything else is pretty hard. So yeah, this should be the final list, unless I come up with anything else. So yeah, this is the final list. Yeah, I'm happy with everything. Hi, I'm back because I made some mistakes, and I'm also here to give you a public service announcement. So, I made some mistakes, and that was that Griller, Rush, and Gushers do not have a low tide version. From my experience after the 2,000 jobs at Salmon Run, I've never remember encountering a Gusher, Griller, or Rush low tide version. Only high tide, so that's it. Also, as of recording this segment, it is the 21st on a Sunday. So, the Splatfest premiere is exactly in a week. Set your alarms, people. Come on, it's gonna be good. That, and according to, what was it? According to Splat there will be like a walk around like in the lobby on the Thursday on the 25th. I'm not sure about that. I don't know where he got that information from, but that would be cool. You know, you won't be able to join lobbies at least from he said, but you'll be able to like walk around the lobby. You won't be able to join games. But either way. So, sorry this video was an absolute mess. I do have other videos in the works, but I probably won't be covering the Splatfest premiere because I don't really know what to say about it. And as far as Splatoon 3 stuff goes, I don't have really any plans to cover that. I probably will cover some stuff, but as right now, I don't have any topic specific stuff I want to cover for when the game actually releases. So if you have any ideas, let me know. But either way, I hope this video wasn't a complete train wreck to watch, and I hope you mostly enjoyed it. Well, whatever.